Hello, this is Steve, and yeah, we're staring at another pile of equipment on the floor down here. What I'm going to do in this quick video is just sort of explain through how we can sort of scale down the S.T.R.A.I.T survival system into a hill walking kit, just for day hiking, and so you're only out for one day, and really the only way you're going to be using the sort of the shelter building side of things and the insulation there is in terms of an emergency or something like that. So we sort of scale it down so it's lightweight, so we can just take it with us anywhere. So we've got down this side here, we've got items that you're going to be carrying irrespective of what season it is, just all the time, and down here we've got the ones that you'll be carrying that will be specific to what season it is. So starting off with the sort of straight 6 side of things, really, I suppose, and how that's incorporated into the kit. The straight 6, as you can remember from the first 2 videos, we've got S for steel bottle, which you can use for sort of purification of water and things like that. We've got T for tarp, which is for sort of keeping, in terms of hill walking, in terms of sort of keeping the rain off you, an extra shelter and things like that, or actually building a more permanent shelter if you get stuck up in the mountains or stuck in the woods or something like that. So that's S.T.R. would stand for rope, and we've got some rope there on a key ring, sort of as part. I'll explain that in a second. We've also got A, which is would be axe, normally with the kit. In this case we've got smaller cutting tools. It's quite important with these that we've got a saw on this Victorinox farmer's knife as well. That gives us the ability to cut thicker pieces of wood. We can make trekking poles, that kind of thing, out of it, and obviously start a fire. Also we've got I for insulation. That's a AMK heat sheet. That's a reusable space blanket. It's important to have something like that as well as an extra insulating layer, just in case things go wrong, and that's winter or summer really. So that's I for insulation, and the final one, T, Tinderbox. This is a very scaled down version of a Tinderbox. It is a BCB Ranger fire steel, as you can see that properly there with the focus on this camera. So what you would do to start a fire, obviously you could use a piece of natural cordage, which I've got here. So if you decided to take that instead of that, which I think I'd possibly would recommend for sort of mountain survival type things, you've got a you would just take the there's an awl on the outside of that. You just scratch that against the Ranger fire steel. Actually works very well, and that would sort of create a spark to start a fire. So you've got your axe effectively there component, you've got your Tinderbox component and your rope component. So you've actually got 3 of them, of the essential sort of straight 6 items on one keyring there. So half your kit there is just on a keyring, so very scaled down version, only for use in emergencies. Obviously in addition to that I've got a compass to help you find your way, and you've got your sort of emergency whistle there as well. So that's the sort of sort of items that you've got on that keychain. Other sort of items that you'll sort of need to carry as sort of a day hiking kit as well. Actually that should be probably over here. There's waterproof case for a camera. I mean, I'm using the camera at the moment, so I can't show you that. There's your food, which I've got in a bag there, a sort of cotton bag. There's this, which is a small first aid kit. That would be very basic items and things like painkillers are a good one to keep in there. I tend to have problems occasionally with knees, that kind of thing, so and also occasionally going over sprained ankles, a very common injury, so pressure bandages, sort of cohesive bandage that binds itself around, is an important item as well. I also keep a head torch with batteries in there as well, because getting stuck up there, you may be stuck in a position where you can't get hold of wood and things, and you may be able to find your way down in the dark. So that's another important item to have in there. Also, I tend to put I've got an old phone which I keep in with it as well, because you know, obviously charged up, and if possible to keep that turned off to make sure it stays charged up as well. So that's your insulating layer. You've got your poncho, integral design silponcho there. That's a very lightweight thing. Obviously you cinch that round yourself, and you can use that to build a more permanent shelter if there's a serious problem. You've got your bottle there, and these are the 2 water storage options actually, and I suggest that you use both. So that's your sort of bottle. You can take the top off there, as you've sort of seen perhaps in previous videos, and that gives you the ability to purify water. Obviously you can't eat snow if it's the winter, because you're going to sort of cause yourself quite serious problems after a while. So that gives you the ability to melt it down next to the fire, or you can actually purify water if you're not sure of the source. If you've got, say, for example, a dead animal that's in the water, or the water's stagnant, it's a lake or something like that, you can actually purify it using that. So important thing to have. And this one here is it's a platypus, a camelbak sort of 2-litre hoser with a this one has actually got. I'll just show you the end there. A sort of switch on there, a little tap which I bought separately, which you can turn that on or off, and that's quite handy because if you get those into the back of a rucksack, sometimes the pressure, if you put them in the space inside the rucksack, which is designed for these things, sometimes the pressure of your other kit against your back can force the water out of there if you haven't got that tap on there. So there you go, that's the sort of essential items that you carry. The only two items really that you'd be carrying on top of that, and which would vary in the mountains or out in the wilderness just on a day hike, would be your rucksack, and there's two different kinds of rucksack for winter and summer there, and there's two different kinds of insulation being the other one. That's two different kinds of insulation layer there. So to very quickly talk you through those. Insulation, whoops, chuck the gloves up there. Insulation for winter, I use this here. So we've got a pair of gloves. I'd often carry a second pair of mittens, buffalo mitts as well. These are Berghaus windstopper gloves, sort of good for that kind of thing. Windy gripper gloves, I think they're called. Stuff sack there, and this cool thing here is just about my most expensive item of kit. This is it's a PhD mountain software Yukon jacket. It's called. It's actually a bespoke version of the Yukon jacket, which is it's Gore-Tex pack light on the outside, 1 ounce nylon on the inside, and 900 fill down as well on the inside. I've actually slept out of this with slept out in it with a half bag, a sort of elephant's foot sleeping bag, sort of half sleeping bag on the bottom. It's very comfortable, incredibly warm for the weight. It weighs about 600 grams. So that's my sort of preferred insulation layer for winter. And obviously packs down into that tiny little stuff sack as well, along with the gloves. Summer insulation, I would go with, it's a bit of a weird one, this, a running top, this one. I mean, I don't do really running myself, but it's got a sort of very thin micro fleece with windproof on the outside, like that, and obviously it dries very quickly as well. That's been used in the Alps a couple of times. That's very handy. Also high vis as well, both of them are, which is sometimes quite sometimes important. So in terms of rucksacks, we've got an 18-litre or 20-litre Houdini Lowe alpine pack there. It's used as a rope bag really. This one I don't use it as that, and it's got a little sort of compartment in there. It's got a hydration compartment as well, just sort of down the back. You can see there with a sort of Velcro closure. And as I say, that's where your thing would go. Your platypus hoser down the back of there, and everything else will just pack inside that. And but if you need something slightly bigger and more robust, I've got this is a Karrimor Sabre Delta 35. It's got sort of nice pockets to hold the water bottle down the side and keep things like your poncho in for emergencies and things. A bit more robust because if you're carrying a little bit more extra weight, like rather than your running top, which is 200 grams, you've got that there as well. And also you need to fit more stuff in there anyway. If you need to carry more food, that kind of stuff, and also trekking poles, you've also got a bit more padding on your back and a bit more support for the extra weight. Okay, so that's basically the STRAIT system and sort of preferred carry options for winter and summer trekking kit. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye.